DNP 102.3 FM. Welcome to another edition of Saturday Night Live and Local. We are joined in the studio with Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire, and we have some great stuff in store for you. And I'm also very happy to announce for the first time in the history of the program, we have a full drum kit in studio. It's going to be a good show, guys. We're going to get right into the music. I believe the first track we're playing is Europe. All right, this is Europe by Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire on DNP 102.3 FM. That was awesome, guys. Awesome stuff. Well, I guess we have probably another about enough time for one more song before we get into having to take a pause for our station identification. Before I do that, though, I want to ask you guys just to simply introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing here in the studio tonight, and we'll get back into some music.
Well, Blake Bietzel on guitar.
Yeah, Jeff Bietzel on bass.
And Clint Alguire on drums.
I gotta say Fender bass.
Yeah, you do have to say Fender bass. That's not a real bass.
What do you play, man? What do you play? Fender bass. I play Fender
That's
bass.
a four-string guitar.
It's Yamaha, but it's Fender bass. Okay.
P-bass.
So what we'll be doing really is a bunch of songs that we've composed, a bunch of groove vignettes, and we kind of mass produce them and have a lot of fun with them. Jeff lays them down mostly, and we have a specific process that we use to various
It's a
degrees of
secret
success.
formula.
It is.
We'll never tell anyone other than Tyler.
Very cool. I know it's a very creative process, and we'll touch base on that a little bit later on in the show. Absolutely, because it's a pretty fascinating process from what I gathered by talking to you guys earlier. So I look forward to getting back into that. The next song you guys have in mind, what do you got next for us?
I think we'll do the Fallout. It's a post-apocalyptic vibe, originally inspired by a local poet, Stephanie Space, now Stephanie Johnson,
Okay.
former state representative Zach Space's sister,
No kidding.
who's a very talented poet, and we were collaborating around the time and had a very unique opportunity to work with a violin player named John Gregory, who played with a band called Live. He was actually
Oh,
on
I'm
Saturday
familiar.
Night Live with Live. And so that's where this song germinated kind of as a background music for Steph. And since then, we've kind of put a Hendrixian vibe on it.
All right. Well, hey, I can't wait to hear it. Let's get into it. This is The Fallout by Jeff and Blake Bietzel, excuse me, with Clint Alguire on DNP 102.3 FM. DNP 102.3 FM. It's Saturday Night Live and Local, and we are joined live in the studio by Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire. And we are going to keep the tunes going into the top of the hour, and then after the break, we'll come back and we'll hear some more questions from the band. If you have any questions you'd like to ask the band, feel free to give us a call at 330-343-1023 or visit us on Facebook by searching Saturday Night Live and Local. And we'll answer any questions you have and make this show as intimate for everyone as it is for us here in the studio. And I think we're going to get back into another song. What's the next track we have coming up from you guys?
Well, I think we were all influenced very heavily by the late, great blues legend, Willie Pooch, and this is our homage to Willie, Blues for Willie.
Awesome. Very cool. Here it is, Blues for Willie on DNP 102.3 FM. DNP 102.3 FM. This is Saturday Night Live and Local, and we have Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire in the studio live, just jamming away. We're going to hear more from them coming up right after this on DNP 102.3 FM. DNP 102.3. Welcome back to another edition of Saturday Night Live and Local. We are joined in studio with Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire. And guys, I just want to ask you some questions so we can get to know you a little bit better before we get back into the music. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you grew up, and yeah.
Well, Tyler, I'm from North Canton. I grew up in North Canton, and then I've lived down here in Tuscarawas County for, the past 11 years, I think, maybe more than that. I don't know. Time flies by.
Yes, it does.
So, just a local guy.
Just
Bangs
a
on
guy trying to have a good time.
Right, bangs on things that make noise, and keep it simple. You hit them, it makes a noise. You hit them louder and harder, it makes a louder noise. So it's very simple.
No doubt. So how long would you say you've been playing music now?
Actually, I started late. I've been playing about 35 years.
Is that right? Very cool.
And
He's only 40.
yeah, right. Yeah, I wish.
And we were talking earlier about some really cool experiences you had going out and recording. We'll get to that in a little bit. But Jeff, I want to hear some more about you. Where are you from, and how long have you been performing for?
Born in Union Hospital, baby. So I mean,
all right.
You can't get more Dover than that.
No.
And save for a brief period of schooling and a foray into music in Columbus with a very hectic, crazy scene in the late 80s that I'm glad. It was a great experience, but if I had not got out of there, if more stories come forth tonight, you will find out that most people that we have come in contact with are now deceased. So it is good to be back.
Thank God, because then I wouldn't be here.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Well, that's true, actually. So,
And this is your son, Blake, correct?
yeah.
Blake, I'm guessing you were born in Dover as well?
Yep, born and raised.
Awesome. And how long have you been performing for now?
I started playing when I was 9. Played the bass, picked up the bass. That song we just played, Blues for Willie, he kind of got me to pick up the bass in the first place. And I guess my dad, who also plays bass. But then I started playing guitar at like 12 because the guitar's cooler. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, I've been playing for, I guess, 11 years, that makes it.
Okay. We had a call from Bianca, and she wanted to know, why did you start playing?
What was the question?
She wants to know, why did you start playing?
Why did I start playing?
Yes.
The obvious answer for all guitar players is
To pick up chicks.
chase skirts.
Yeah, to pick up chicks. No, it's honestly just like Guitar Hero, seriously. Like Guitar Hero on the video game,
Really?
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
I'm serious. I'm sorry, Clint.
Guitar
I'm
Hero?
disappoint you.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, there's got to be a reason for everything.
Oh, my goodness.
I picked it up and was playing songs like, Back in Black and stuff like that on Guitar Hero, and I was like, this is sweet. Maybe I should learn how to play a real one. And that's the truth, actually.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So would you actually attribute the dexterity in your fingers to playing Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously. Like, muscle workout in the fingers,
Yeah, man. It's the next generation musician right here.
Well, I want to take some of the credit for Blake playing guitar, and the reason is because Blake is also a very good drummer, and he was progressing to the point I didn't want to lose my gig,
This
so
is
I had to
true.
switch him.
He told me to start playing guitar.
Play guitars.
Yeah.
Leave these alone.
No, this is a good story because a couple years ago, remember that movie came to town?
Mm-hmm.
And they were filming downtown.
Right.
And they must have had a flap with the union and the band that they had hired to play that night on location, and Brewster bailed on them. So a guy came hurriedly to my place of work, all sweaty, and I need you to round up a couple of musicians. I heard you play, and we're going to be recording this movie from 8 o'clock at night to 8 o'clock in the morning. You got to be ready to be able to be in front of the cameras at any time during that time.
Okay.
I said, well, yeah, what the heck? How many opportunities do you have to be in a movie?
Right.
So I
yeah,
called
absolutely.
up a couple guys, Clint, and a couple other guys, and we'll be there. Well, the one guy got kind of snotty with me, the guitar player. And the next day he laid this rap on me about intellectual property and all this crap. And I said, you're out of here. Well, it ended up that the other band made the date. We never got in the movie, but I lost a friendship over it. So I'm like, hey, Clint, we don't have a guitar player. He goes, yeah, we do. And I said, what? He goes, Blake. Hey, he doesn't play guitar. He goes, he does now.
And just like that.
Yeah, that's just like that.
Pretty slick. I'm
That is.
pretty slick.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Clint makes all the decisions for us.
I do.
Seems like he makes some pretty good ones. So obviously, you have father and son both play instruments. Is that something that's kind of been passed down from generation to generation, or were you the first to start playing?
No, my dad played banjo and ukulele, and my mom was a really good pianist. And there's always been music in the family, but not to this weird funk, inner city blues degree. But and then where he got it, I truly don't know, because he's never had a lesson. And from the time that I went to show him how to play bass, it was kind of a freaky deal. I thought, it's about time he learns to play an instrument. So I just took the bass into his room and said, here, I'm going to show you how to play Green Onions, right? 3 chords. Dum, dum, da, 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 dum, dum, da.
Right.
Get your hands on the instrument. I walked out of there a half hour later. He's playing Jago Pastorius stuff, Wynton Marsalis, Carla Bley and stuff. I'm like, Jesus
No
Christ, he's a
way.
finished product.
No way.
No, way.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
so from then on, it's like, have at it.
Very cool. So, what was your favorite band growing up? Actually, I'll start with Cliff. What was your favorite band? What was it that really got you, into saying, "Hey, I got to do this"?
Well, I was into the rock thing back in the 70s.
Mhm.
I really liked The Who and Cream and all that stuff. And
So Keith Moon is a pretty big influence for you.
no, not really. I mean, I can't play like that. I mean, but I was in college, and my dad called me, and he said, hey, Stan Kenton and his big band is playing at Marlington High School. I'll take you out to dinner. That flipped it. And, would you like to hear him? And I go, who's Stan Kenton? So he took me to hear them, and I think Peter Erskine was playing drums at the time. And we sat in the front row, and when the horn section kicked in, I went, wow. So then I went and I got into jazz, or tried to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to. And I pulled out, Miles Davis. I never heard of him. 4 and More. And it just was neck break speed, and Tony Williams was just going crazy. And then I found out he was like 17 years old, and I went, wow. So I loved the Miles Davis Nefertiti band with all the geniuses in it. So that's my favorite band.
Awesome. And Jeff, how about you, man?
That's become my favorite band as well, but it took obviously 25, 30 years to get to that point. Obviously the original stuff was the Cream, you're enamored with the volume, and
Oh yeah.
Jack Bruce was considered to be, the guy with all the chops. So you're playing along to all the records, and they're just improvising,
Yeah.
20 minutes over a 2-chord blues Skip James tune. But then I started realizing that there's a little more out there. And that's when fusion started hitting. And I morphed kind of from rock to fusion because, it's just, I don't know.
It's almost limitless with what you can do with it,
Yeah,
I think.
well, from a bass perspective. But then you can't dismiss the Motown thing and all that R&B stuff that was going on at the same time.
Yeah,
So
good stuff.
you become ensconced in that. What's on the radio, that was playing on the radio. You could listen to theme from Shaft 1 minute and listen to a Gordon Lightfoot tune the next, and then you're back to a Billy Preston tune, Out of Space, and then a Seals and Cross thing. I mean, radio was so wide open back then. So, a lot of opportunities to expand your musical boundaries. But I always liked the sound of the warm sound of that bass, and it was Felix Pappalardi of all people. I'm getting another dead guy, right?
Right, he's dead.
I'm going to keep referencing dead
Your
people.
girlfriend stab him or something?
Yeah, it was bad.
A lot of those guys, too.
But he was in a band called Mountain. and he played one of those violin basses, you know. And
Oh, yeah,
he
like
just
Paul?
had that nice warm sound, and I just was drawn to that sound. It wasn't the instrument per se, but it was at the right time because there weren't that many bass players working. So when I went to Columbus, I got there at the right time because there were a million guitar players and drummers, but not that many bass players. So
Right
I had
on.
no shortage of work, so it was fun.
Very cool. And for you, what's some of your biggest musical influences?
First, I want to say thanks to Bianco for calling in. That was nice of you.
That was clutch.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that was clutch. We needed that. Okay. But I'd like to say that Led Zeppelin is my favorite band. Just every song they have is so enticing. You can listen to them for hours. And Jimi Hendrix, and just guitar-oriented music, like John Mayer.
No doubt.
Yeah. But then I also have to say all the old stuff that these guys have got me into, like Miles Davis and old jazz stuff like that, John Coltrane. So just a slew of things.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's pretty deep for someone your age, you know.
Right. Well, I also like to listen to Drake and.
There you go.
Like,
Gotta have the variety,
gotta
right?
have the new stuff too.
No doubt,
Yeah.
man. We were talking earlier. I was really impressed to find this out. You actually got to go out and play with Medeski Martin and Wood
Yeah.
over the summer. How was that?
Wild. Well, first off, the place that we went to was in the Catskill Mountains in New York, just outside of the city, and it was just beautiful out there, and great opportunity. Met Medeski Martin and Wood. For those who don't know, it's just a really fantastic funk band. They're awesome. Also another musical inspiration. So
Very cool.
yeah, I got to go out there and stay with them for a week, and at the end of the week, we recorded a song together, like the Campers and them. And we recorded 3 songs actually, and the last one that we recorded was actually on one of their albums, on their 20th anniversary album. So that was really cool to go back and listen, and we like wrote that song with them. So like, and I actually went there for drums instead of guitar. You had to pick an instrument to go there for, and I picked drums because I hadn't gotten guitar too heavy yet. So
Well, you had to be accepted too, though.
yeah,
You had to put an audition thing together. It had to be
send in
accepted.
an audition and stuff. It was
No
real.
kidding, man.
So yeah, that was really cool. Just getting on one of their albums. They recorded one of the songs. So yeah.
That is way too cool. How about yourself, Clint? I know we were talking earlier too. You've really gone out and you've got a plethora of experience in performing with other people and doing some various recordings. What's a more memorable experience for you in your time as a musician?
Well, I mean, there was a time when I was going out. I mean, I still had a full-time job, but I accumulated a lot of vacation time. So I've gone on the road with a guy named Patrick Sweeney.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the most memorable was when we went down and recorded an album in one day. I mean, laid it down, mixed it, only overdubbed the vocals, down in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Okay.
We opened for Buddy Guy, and Double Trouble was backing him, and there was a guy named Jimbo Mathis who played with a band called the Squirrel Nut Zippers, which I think
Wow.
was a swing band or something.
Yeah.
So we got to talking. He said, if you're ever around the area, when are you ever around the area, like next weekend, give me a call. Well, we were touring and coming down to Memphis, so Pat gave him a call. And we recorded at this place. Elvis Costello had recorded there the week before. It was Ike Turner was the DJ there, and they found a bunch of old vintage instruments up in the second floor and refurbished them. And their thing was they didn't do a lot of overdubs. You had to record live. You just went in and you did it. And that was a really great experience. And guys would walk in off the street.
Yeah.
They would walk. We were recording a song, and a guy walked in off the street and picked up maracas and started shaking them.
No kidding, man.
And I hate that track because his rhythm was really poor. But they kept it on there,
Yeah.
And the funny thing was Jimbo was also putting together a band for Steven Seagal, who's a wannabe blues player.
Right.
He'll probably come kicking in the door and stove in my head, but the phone ring. He goes, I got to take this. Yes, Mr. Seagal. Yeah, I'm trying to get. No, I haven't. Yes, Mr. He's making all kind of animations. So we teased him about that. So that was very cool.
I can only imagine, man. Jeff, what about yourself? Any really memorable experiences out there? And
Well, the first time, actually, Clint and I met maybe 36 years ago or so. We had 3 days to throw a band together and go play the WMMS Coffee Break concert
okay,
at the Cleveland Agora.
yeah,
Didn't know any of the tunes. I mean, I had to learn these. And the guy was fairly intricate with his arrangements and everything. And we ended up going up and doing the date. That's the first time I met Clint. And I think there was like 1.3 million listeners that day.
wow,
Yeah, because MMS was the number one radio station in the country.
right,
Like 15 years running, Rolling Stone magazine, poll.
oh yeah,
So it was
Your boss was listening, was
Yeah, my boss was listening. I called in sick, and my boss heard it.
how'd that go?
I got fired.
Did you?
Yeah. In fact, the boss was supposed to fly back to Chicago the next day, canceled the flight, booked a hotel room just so she could personally fire me.
Wow,
Yeah, the next day face to face. Beautiful stuff. My roommate wanted to go slash tires. I said, "Nah, let it go, let it go." And ended up moving to Columbus, and all was well from that point on because, like I say, a groovy scene at that time. At any rate, Clint and I had a chance to play with Blue Lou Marini a couple years ago too. That was a good old time. In fact, Blue Lou actually played with us because he actually played our material. So
really?
yeah, so to not only have Blue Lou, playing with you, but playing your material.
Yeah, it's
And yeah, a friend of mine from Cambridge actually must have reached above the crowd and taken a great photograph that has Clint and I in it with Blue Lou. And I can tell by the way my hand is on the bass that I was playing a tune called Leeway that I had written for my daughter in the key of A. So,
really,
and he did, yeah, indeed play that tune. So that was a cool thing.
That's
I mean, he's
unreal.
one of the Blues Brothers,
yeah, that's unreal, man.
and many Steely Dan sessions, and one of the most prolific, sax players in LA studio history. So
he lived
yeah.
he lived in New Philly for a while,
Really?
and his dad was a band teacher at Fairless High School. When he was here, he said, "Help me find the house that I grew up in," and it's just as you take the shortcut to off the boulevard to go around the park. I can't remember the name of the street right now, but
Right.
I took a picture of it for him and sent it to him.
Really? Back there behind Fun Days.
Yeah.
In that area.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I was driving him back to the airport because I was kind of his Guy Friday. And he's on the phone talking to somebody. He's John. I can tell it's another musician. And he gets off, and I said, "Who are you talking to?" And he said, "Steve Gadd." And for drummers, we'll know who Steve Gadd is. Steve Gadd is the groove guy,
Yeah.
the ultimate for most guys. And I went, "What?" I almost went off the road, but I tried not to look too starstruck, but
No
I
kidding.
betrayed myself.
Very cool. Well, I understand that we actually have some hot wax in the studio with us.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we record continuously, prolifically, prodigiously. I don't know what you want to call it, but we just finished when we saw Chad a couple nights ago. And we had just finished a session with the sax player from Mansfield, who maybe we'll luck into talking to. He's very effusive. It'd be kind of comical to
I
get
wouldn't
Eric.
call it luck.
But Eric Snyder, it's kind of a luxury that the trio here has. But he lives in Mansfield, so based on logistics, we don't get to play often much live together. But he will come by and cut 3 or 4 tunes at a time. And so I've got some material here that was just recorded within the last weeks by the trio. We never record simultaneously, so we usually go drum track, then I play the bass.
Okay.
Giving
do
away the
arrangements.
formula.
Yeah. And then Clint comes in, plays the
Yeah, way to go.
drums. And then when Clint plays the drums, then the click track goes away. Then Blake plays the guitars as needed. And then while we're waiting for Eric, we might lay some keyboards or something down. And then Eric shows up and usually puts the finishing touches, whether it's a tenor, alto, soprano, sax, flute, whatever. Truly a terrific musician and a pure luxury. The guy's great. I mean, he's the best soprano player, I think, in the state. I would wager. I'd put him up against anybody.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear it.
I think we're going to get him here as well. online.
Cool.
Oh,
that's great,
Probably
Jack.
after this song, we'll see if we can bring
Right.
him in.
Very cool. So, well, let's hear from it
He's
now.
a funny guy, so that'll be entertaining.
What's the name of the first track we'll be hearing? Or is there one?
Oh crap! I think I just made up the name to it last night. Clint called it. I changed the name, Clint.
Thanks, you didn't consult. I thought I made all the decisions.
Diphtheria
here.
or something like that.
It's not.
But it's now called Oil Can, which is another name for beer.
All right. Well, here's a little can from Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire and
Eric Snyder.
Eric Snyder on DNP 102.3 FM. Welcome back to Saturday Night Live and Local. We are joined live in the studio by Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire. And also joining us over the lines, we have Eric Snyder. Eric, how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Very good, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I'm just trying to avoid the cops while I'm driving home.
Well, good luck with that. Hey,
Yeah.
So we've got to know Jeff and Blake and Clint a little bit. So how about you just tell us a little bit about yourself, and so the listener can get to know you a little bit as well.
Well, I just, like I said when you first called, I hope those guys played all those Seeger and Clapton covers we worked so hard on the past few weeks.
Yeah, we did them all. Don't worry.
Yep.
Yeah? No? Okay.
We played you. You look wonderful tonight for you, Eric. Just want you to know it.
Yeah, I'm calling you. I'm talking to you live from Belleville, Ohio, which is just south of Mansfield.
Okay.
In case you're, want to know where I am. And, I've been one of these guys that's known Jeff since, what did we say the other night, Jeff? 30 years, something like that. And
35.
Probably 25 or something. And, we were in the kind of the heyday of these R&B bands in Columbus. There's definitely a kind of a, I think we were, and Jeff, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but we were kind of at the forefront of it became kind of a sound of Columbus, Ohio, this R&B sound with blues players and R&B players and horn bands and things like that. So Jeff and I kind of came up through that in Columbus back in the, late 70s and early 80s. And, it really kind of felt like it was, there was kind of a brand that we've kind of put on that Columbus music scene that, really still exists today. I mean, people will definitely say there's like a Columbus sound, and I'm proud to say that, and I think we were kind of part of that.
Absolutely.
Right, Jeff? Maybe? Yes? No?
Yeah, the sad part is, like, half the people we played with are no longer with us.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It takes a toll.
You guys are next. Sorry.
There's a price to be paid.
Yeah, oh no, there's a heavy price that was paid, that's for sure.
No kidding. And so, what got you interested in playing music in the first place?
Well, I was one of these nudniks that thought that playing an instrument was a good idea when I was in fourth grade, and so I got my auspicious start playing the flutophone in fourth grade, which was a complete disaster. And the band director, who I still know to this day, he actually brought me to tears. And so in fourth grade, because it was such a negative experience, and so I decided to come back and haunt him with a tenor saxophone the following year. And here I am, 40 years later, playing with these guys.
That's too cool, man. And what was
Yeah.
your first band then? Would have been playing with Jeff?
Oh no, I've played a lot of bands. I went to Capital University and I got a degree in jazz performance, which comes real handy when you're like bare knuckle fighting behind a dumpster. I've got a I played in a lot of bands in Columbus, and again, that's where I met Jeff. And Jeff's been nice enough to stay in touch with me and bring me into his world, which I really do appreciate. And again, like Jeff alluded to a minute ago, that there are not many of us left that were of that vintage. And so I feel real blessed to be able to have Blake and Jeff and Clint in my life, and
Hey, right
still be
back
able to
at
kind
you,
of do it
man.
the way we used to do it, like kind of old school. And so I do have a real appreciation for that. But I've got a broad experience playing music. I've played in symphonies and polka bands and country bands and hoedowns, and but I really do feel like I've for a number of years found a home with Jeff and Clint and the guys and stuff.
Well, I'm really digging the sound you guys have, especially because the CD that we have here in the studio is only 48 hours. You guys, just put this together 2 days ago. So if it's cool with you guys, I want to get back into that, play another track off of that,
Sure.
and then maybe we can get into something live afterwards.
Good.
All right. So what's
Cool.
this?
Well, I'm here.
All
I'm
right. What's the next song we're going to be hearing off the album or
Oh,
off
man.
the CD?
What do they call? They're so new. I mean, I can't remember the names of the titles. I don't know, but Eric's playing alto on it, which he had not played the alto sax in how many years, Eric?
Ever. I've never played alto saxophone.
He got
in
it back
35
off a
years
dead
on
friend
any
of
Jeff's
ours.
recordings.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it's only because his tenor is being worked on right now in Chicago at great
Yeah.
expense that he brought the alto. And so I put a lot of reverb on it to cover up all his goobs and clams.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it'll work.
Very cool. Well, here's Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire and Eric Snyder on the alto sax on DNP 102.3 FM.
Well, actually, this one's not bad.
Eric is a goofball.
Who wasn't that requested? DNP 102.3 FM. This is Saturday Night Live and Local. This is your host, Tyler Snow, joined live in the studio with Jeff and Blake Bietzel and Clint Alguire. Got ourselves quite the experience going on here tonight. And we are also joined over the phone with Eric Snyder. Eric, you still there with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Yep.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. It's great to have you on as well. I also want to say a quick thank you to our friends at the James Short Memorial Fund for donating 5 pairs of killer headsets. Without that donation, we would not be able to do this right now. So that's pretty cool. We're pretty fortunate for that. And let's see. It was Bobby Stalker, I believe. We got a request. Are you guys open to taking requests right now?
By all means, and his beautiful girlfriend Vanessa here imparted the knowledge to us that Bobby would like to hear a tune that is kind of obscure in our canon called Senna, after the late great racing world driving champion Ayrton Senna.
Okay.
And Bobby's all about racing.
All right.
Yeah, so it's kind of a basic tune, but it's kind of a got a Brazilian lilt to it. So see if we can pull this off. It's been a while. It'll be
Very
all right though.
All right, well, off the request line, this is Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire, and the song is Senna on DNP 102.3 FM. It's Saturday Night Live and Local on DNP 102.3 FM. That was Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire and a very cool and a very smooth track titled Senna. And that was off the request line. We have another one off the request line, and we were talking a little bit earlier, Jeff. This song "Leeway" actually has a pretty cool story behind it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, my wife had a tough birth, and after a long day, they said go home. So I went home, but I was too wired up, to sleep. So I just grabbed the bass and immediately started playing this tune. And upon completion, it was the entire arrangement was complete. Amazingly, I woke up the next morning and remembered it and threw down some basic tracks to it, but that has never happened before. Like I say, I believe in instant competition or instant composition, but in this case, it was borne out. No pun intended.
Definitely pun intended.
Yeah, that was quite a wild night. But this is a tune that Blue Lou Marini played on, so
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. All right, well, here they are now. It's Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire, and the song is Leeway on Saturday Night Live and Local right here at DNP 102.3 FM. That was an awesome track. That was Leeway from Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire, live right here in the studio for Saturday Night Live and Local on DNP 102.3 FM. And Eric, are you still there with us? No. Oh, he's not? Okay, Eric is not with us anymore. All right. Well, now that we have the phone lines freed up, we'd be happy to hear from you, the listener. If you have any questions or any input, let us know how we sound. Give us a call at 343-1023 or simply get on Facebook and check out the Saturday Night Live and Local page on Facebook and give us a little bit of input and let us know what you think of the show this evening. I think we're having a freaking fantastic show.
Thank you so much. We didn't even say thanks yet, I don't think. Tyler and Chad, you guys, thanks so much. This is a great time.
Guys, thank you.
Thanks to
seriously.
102.3, man.
Hey, man. Right on. We got one right here from Olivia Day. She said she was just in there and she thought of you. Joe Walsh was playing Flock of Wawas.
Oh. Normally I have a wah-wah pedal, but I don't today.
Yeah, normally he is Wawa Watson.
Who said that?
That was Olivia Day.
Okay.
All right. So one of the questions I actually like to ask everybody is, if you could have any equipment, no money, was not a factor.
No, we're good.
You're good with what you got.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We play gigs. He plays through a Fender Pro Junior little amp. It's a little tweed amp, little 12-inch speaker. And go walking into a place and people make disparaging remarks, about it. And he only sets it volume-wise at like 1.5. And
It's so loud.
it's so good.
One time, just to see, I never had tested the waters, but I went above 5, and I was astonished. It was like putting 10 Marshall amps stacked up together and just playing the rock chords. It was so loud on 5, so I just keep it below 2.
It's almost like a toy, It looks.
I'll never have gallstones after that.
And I play through a small rig. Clint plays through a pared down, drum kit. So we travel light.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you can raise a lot of hell.
Yeah, it took you guys no time whatsoever to get the equipment up here. And like I said, this is the first show that we actually have, a full drum kit in the studio with us. So that's pretty cool if you ask me.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, guys. Well, I think we have maybe time for one more song before we have to take our break. Usually the program runs until 11, but if you guys are cool with sticking around a little bit longer and playing some more music, I'd be happy to keep the show going a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
why don't you tell us a little bit about the next song we're going to hear from you?
Well, it's about time to play Lava Lamp. This is our most requested song by our fan base. It's a tune Blake wrote. He wrote, arranged.
I did not title
it.
it Lava Lamp.
Yeah, I titled it for him.
It kind of got
he's,
titled.
He's so lazy he won't even title his own song. So, anyways, this is one of those
That's not
late night love tunes,
Right on. All right, here it is.
It's got a little bite to it, though.
All right, here they are now. It's Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire live on Saturday Night Live and Local on DNP 102.3 FM. Saturday Night Live and Local on DNP 102.3. That was Jeff and Blake Bites with Clint Alguire, and we are going to get right back to some more music from them. But first, a quick break for some station identification.
It's Tyler Snow and Saturday Night Live and Local from DNP 102.3.
Welcome back to Saturday Night Live and Local on DNP 102.3 FM. Again, we are joined live and in the studio by Jeff and Blake Bietzel and Clint Alguire. And I actually wanted to get back to playing a couple more tracks off of the album. Again, this album is only 48 hours old. And again, so it's very fresh, and we're going to get back to that. It is Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire and Eric Snyder on DNP 102.3 FM. Saturday Night Live and Local on DNP 102.3. Your choice for the most fun in the Tuscarawas Valley, and we are having an absolute blast. We are joined in the studio by Jeff and Blake Bietzel and also Clint Alguire, and we have Eric Snyder over the phone with us as well. Eric, how are you doing, man?
Hey, good. I wondered, has Clint showed everybody that birthmark of his yet?
No. And now he's leaving the studio. Thanks.
Oh, now we don't have a drummer.
Well, you might want to ask about that because it's special.
All right. So what's the deal with this birthmark?
This birthmark, the one that Eric just removed Wednesday with a butter knife, the jury's still out on that.
Okay. Well, again, the last two songs we just heard at the top of the hour, those were finished just 2 days ago. Our engineer, our own Chad Felbush was there, and you got to experience that. And those were really some killer tracks, guys. Thank you very much for bringing that in for us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And before we got back on the air, we were talking a little bit. What do you guys have coming up in the future?
Well, besides the obvious, which is more recording, they're just dates that people are booking for next year. But it's amazing how far into next year people are booking, because we have to work around Clint's schedule because he plays with the Numbers Band, the iconic, I don't know what the hell you call him.
Yeah,
psychotic, blues, pseudo weirdo. Iconic though is operative word, band out of Akron, and so basically we're working around his dates. Which Clint, tell us when we can work.
I don't know. I don't remember the schedule. But, we fill in dates here and there. The thing is, we're not self-promoters. I don't know whether it's because we're lazy or we're too busy. I don't know. We don't. So while we like to play, we're not out beating the bushes, and therefore pickings are slim unless there's some club owner out there listening to me now that wants to give us a call and, hire us to chase their customers away.
We're really good at playing nonprofit freebies.
Yeah, that is our forte, right?
Yeah, that's cool. We are a nonprofit station, and our mission is to support other nonprofits in the area. So,
Yes.
How many non-millions have we made, Eric?
Quite
Untold.
a few, Clint.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we did have that great time at Crestline, though, right, Eric?
Oh jeez.
Crestline
was a hell of a time.
Incredible. If you guys aren't familiar with Crestline, it's epic. It's really you've got the trains rolling by every 5 minutes in the train yard. You've got the people there. It reminds you of the cantina scene in Star Wars. It's, yeah.
Great time, though.
And
played under a Big Ten.
And the problem is, we can't take your dad anywhere, Blake, because he just can't behave himself in most public places. So,
I know.
Really, to answer your question, we don't play out much because Jeff is just so antisocial.
Yeah.
Well, that ankle bracelet goes off real easily if you go out of the zone. So,
well,
it's kind of rough.
Jeff, I know pretty much everything that you record, you put up available on your website. You don't like to do very much self-promotion. But
Oh, yeah.
You
I'm
do
glad
have
you brought
a
that
website.
up. Didn't think of that. It's jeffbietzel.com. That's that easy. And it's all free. It takes about a minute or two to download each album. Then you just pull it out of your downloads and click on any given tune. It's all free. There's probably about 575 songs now.
And some artwork.
Yeah, a lot of fantastic artwork.
I've listened to quite a few of them. I like them a lot.
Yeah, it spans a wide variety of stuff. And there's a Willie Pooch blues section, and there's a Cutmen section that was a brief foray with some local guys, Gus Lambros and Ray and Bobby Sherrill. And then the Barflies era. Oh, boy. The guys that came through that band. And then a personal Jeff Bietzel section. And then this current band, if anyone's interested in what they're hearing tonight, just click on the quartet. Even though, like I say, when we're playing local, usually because of logistics and Eric, it's a trio. But that's the machine that just won't stop. So,
Thanks to Adam White for helping design the website.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're listening, but thanks, Adam.
yeah, Adam.
Appreciate that.
Well, when you go to the site and you see the overwhelming amount of content you have on there, including your artwork, I mean, it really does make you wonder how you guys have the time to even perform, let alone record. So that's very cool. Clint, you said that you're also pretty busy yourself in other projects. Yes. Is there anything out there? Is there a website or anything where we can hear your other projects?
Well, the Numbers Band has a website.
Okay.
156075, the Numbers Band. Great guys to play with. This is their 45th year. So you can go to their website. Currently, I'm not on anything that they've recorded.
Okay.
I've been with them for about 5 years, and they like to translate live. And
and Clint, don't forget you're very involved with the witness protection program too.
Oh, now thanks, Eric. Now they'll find me.
Yeah.
Is that the witness protection or the nit witness protection? Okay.
What about you, Blake? Do you have any solo projects or anything going on?
I actually have been working on some solo stuff as of recent. I'm in the process of getting it out there, but I'm just kind of creating a bunch of stuff first and sorting through the bad stuff. But yeah, I will have some coming soon, probably YouTube videos.
Very cool. Well, what we'll do then is for the listeners, if you guys want to listen to this after the show, of course, we'll have the show itself on the Facebook page, on the Saturday Night Live and Local Facebook page. And then also we'll get a link out there, too. We'll get Jeff's webpage up there. We'll get some more Clint's stuff and get some more Blake's stuff on there as well.
But I'll tell you what, guys. Actually, Eric, you're still there with us too, man. Do you have any solo stuff out there that you're doing right now?
Nothing that I could share with anybody. Most of it's probably been outlawed in most countries. I know all 50 states.
18 years of age to view it.
No, not me. I'm not. I am a dutiful soldier, and I'm a good side man. And but I don't have the innovative, creative spirit that Jeff and Blake and Clint have. So I'm glad to be along for the ride.
Well, hey, man, if what they said earlier was true and you haven't played an alto sax in years, you freaking nailed it on that track.
Oh, well, thanks.
Absolutely, man. That was killer.
Blush. Oh, blush. Oh, shucks.
Well, hey, Eric, I'm really happy to have you on the line, but I'd really like to get back to some music. I mean, we are, after all, in the after hours on Saturday Night Live and Local. Do you guys have another track you want to play for us?
Sure.
All right. What are we going to hear next from you?
We're doing a song called Stratus. I don't know who originally did it because it's too old for me, but then I know Jeff Beck did it, and I love him as a guitar
it's an
player.
old Billy Cobham tune that dead guy, Tommy Bolin, who took Joe Walsh's,
Another dead guy.
Took Joe Walsh's place in the James Gang, played the epic guitar solo on, and since then Jeff Beck has picked it up, and it's one of his major pieces in his repertoire, but kind of came easy to us. It's kind of fun to play. It's goofy.
Easy.
So
very cool.
It's not easy, but I mean,
Are you doing this live or is this a recording?
This will be live.
It's live.
Okay, great.
so it should be kind of nasty, and then maybe we'll follow it up with one of Blake's tunes called Time.
Cool. Well, the words Jeff Beck and Easy don't usually come up in the same sentence very often.
No.
So
Yeah.
Looking forward to this one. And if I remember correctly, this is the first cover of the night, right?
Yeah, we usually stick with the original stuff, but on occasion, I mean, I'd love to do a theme from Shaft for you. I mean, 'cause
That'd be awesome, man.
I just enjoy that. Maybe we'll follow it up with Shaft. What the heck?
All right.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So we got Stratus coming up next from Jacob or Jeff. I'm sorry, and Blake Bietzel and Clint Alguire, and then after that, we're gonna go into the Shaft theme.
Yeah, theme from Shaft. What the heck? Might as well.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's live right here in the studio in downtown Dover at DNP 102.3 FM. We give these guys a second to set up here, and we'll get right back into the live music. And again, to all the listeners out there, if you have any questions you'd like to ask the band, any kind of input whatsoever, feel free to give us a call at 343-1023 or visit us on Facebook. Go ahead, Eric.
I do have a question. Where does Jeff get his hair cut?
Actually, about 50 feet away from where we're broadcasting. And that's where Blake gets his haircut, too. Autumn Lead. Let's put in a...
Yeah, thanks, Adam. She does a great job.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the studio is located right in the second story of the Galleria of Salons right here on 3rd Street in Dover. But we're going to get back into the live music.
You didn't know I just got a haircut, did you, Eric? I had kind of a mullet going on there for a while.
All right. Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire live in the studio for Saturday Night Live and Local during the after hours right here on DNP 102.3 FM. We're going to get right back into another song here, and this is the Shaft theme. Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire live in the studio with us here at DNP 102.3 for another great edition of Saturday Night Live and Local. We have really kind of just winged this one from the get-go. I mean, I wish our listeners could see the setup right now and they could see the amount of cord we have going out to the percussion out there. It's really been a great time, guys. If it's okay with you, I want to hear some more music.
Yeah, we got another one. Time.
Yeah, it's funny because the last tune would be more authentic sounding. Blake does not have his trusty wah-wah tonight. Otherwise, that would be the theme from Shaft. I mean, it would be hitting you in your thing. But, yeah, why didn't you bring that wah-wah?
Because it acts up sometimes and didn't want to take... I mean, we're already taking a lot of risks here in this tonight, so there's one less risk.
All right, I'll buy that one. Well, here's a tune that Blake wrote. It's called Time. Remember that tune? Time. Ching, ching, ching. Who the heck did that?
Time.
Who? Chambers Brothers. Weren't they at the Watt Stacks? It was like the Woodstock of black music. Watt Stacks.
I'm too young for that. I wasn't. I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, this is a takeoff on that, I guess. Blake wrote this one.
Very cool. You heard it from the man himself. Here they are on DNP 102.3 FM. guys. Very nice. Very nice. That was Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire right here live in the studio. We are still joined over the phone by Eric Snyder. Eric, how you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
The liquor's doing this talking now.
What's that?
The liquor's doing the talking now.
Eric, while we were playing that, I could hear you coming in through my headphones, and I was like, oh gosh, I hope he's not on the radio and about to say something.
I think he missed that first part. Sorry about that, man. Your mic was off.
Oh, he didn't hear. Oh, well, good. I won't say it then.
All right. Well, we got to take a quick break for some station identification. We'll be right back in the studio with Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire on DNP 102.3 FM.
It's Tyler Snow and Saturday Night Live and Local from DNP 102.3.
DNP 102.3 FM. This is Saturday Night Live and Local, and we are joined again in the studio live with Jeff and Blake Bietzel and Clint Alguire, and we are having an absolute killer time. We are well into the after hour now. I think are going to get maybe one more live song, and then we'll go out with a song off of a CD. Is that the plan, guys?
That sounds great.
Very cool. And what's the next song we have coming up from you?
For some weird reason, Clint wants to play Boogie Woogie Waltz, which is a tune off Weather Report's third album, Sweet Nighter. Very obscure. And it's a very sick piece, so you got to hang in there with it. Really. But it's one of Zawinul's masterpieces.
I didn't realize that Clint still got a vote.
Blake said I made the decisions early
Yep.
I'm being deposed now.
Well, I can say that the one thing I've noticed, from all the songs that you played for us this evening, is every single song is its own journey through the imagination, and that's absolutely fantastic. So, everybody, hang in there. This is going to be another good one. It's Jeff and Blake Bietzel and Clint Alguire live on DNP 102.3 FM. Jeff, you have something?
Hey, good night, Eric. Love you, baby.
Hey, love you too, baby.
And Eric,
Oh God.
thanks for joining us, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on and just listen it out.
Yeah, please do. All right, here they are
All right.
now, live in the studio on DNP 102.3 FM. All right. That is Jeff and Blake Bietzel with Clint Alguire right here on DNP 102.3 FM for Saturday Night Live and Local. We are about finished up here. Our own Dan Slentz, who I guess is your cousin Jeff, and Steve, that would be your uncle, or Tyler, I'm sorry, that would be your uncle, I believe, wanted to say hello to you guys and said what a great show it's been. And also, of course, I want to take the time to thank you guys again very much for being here. It's been an absolute awesome experience.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Well, you know what? We need to give a shout out to you guys
Yeah.
because this isn't easy. I've done this before, and this isn't easy. And to attempt this and to pull it off, you guys have done a great job. And I don't know of
names. Personally, in my opinion, that all what you just said goes to our engineer, Chad Felbush.
Yep, great job, Chad.
Thanks,
Who's
Chad.
here in the
Great
studio
job.
with us. He
Excellent.
does a killer job every single Saturday for us. We would not be able to do this without him. You're awesome, man. And then, of course, we have Vanessa Bechter here, our fantastic photographer, and she'll be posting some great photographs up on the Saturday Night Live and Local Facebook page for all of you to see from tonight's performance, so that'll be great as well. We're also joined here in the studio and have been from our Tyler Slentz, who is the son of our morning show host and program director, Steve Slentz. So, Tyler, thank you very much for taking the time to be here with us tonight. Absolutely. And, of course, we are also joined by Todd Carper, the owner of the building. And, Todd, thank you so much for letting us do this. Without your say-so, we wouldn't have this fantastic program, and we wouldn't be able to showcase all this incredible talent we have in the area.
That is the coolest red hat.
It is.
Yeah,
It is the
I wish
coolest.
the listeners could see that.
What is that? What card is that? The Jack of Hearts.
He's not messing around.
No, he isn't.
I got this from an insane asylum.
Oh,
I believe
That stands to reason.
All right. Well, we've had
Thanks,
so
guys.
much fun
Thank you.
tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
And, of course, as always, thank you to the listeners, because really without the listeners,
We still have Eric here too.
okay, yes, and without the listeners, we wouldn't be able to do this. And we also have Eric on the line with us too. Still, Eric, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night to join us for this.
Yeah,
incredible
thank you.
Experience.
It's been fun. Thank you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And everything sounded good on your end.
Great. Yeah, wonderful.
Awesome, man. That's what I like to hear. All right, well, we're going to wrap up the show now, and we're going to go out with a song titled "Wise Guy." This is off the 2015 or the Quartet 2015, which again is available at Jeff Bietzel's website, jeffbietzel.com.
free.
Free, absolutely.
download.
Everything is free. A
Jay will
plethora
pay.
of material.
Jeff will pay you $5.
Yeah. It's going
And check
double cardboard in three states.
Yeah, I think so.
double cardboard.
and Czechoslovakia.
In Czechoslovakia, right?
Huge following in Czechoslovakia. Again, all of that is
And the Lesser
free
Antilles.
for your download, for your enjoyment, the listeners. And check out Jeff's artwork, too, because I saw that earlier, and I was really impressed, man. That's very good.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. So here they are now. This is the quartet. This is Jeff and Blake Bietzel, Clint Alguire, and Eric Snyder on DNP 102.3 FM on Saturday Night Live and Local. Signing out.
Eric,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna play this song through, and then we'll say goodbye to you in a minute.
Yeah, cool. That's fine. Just go ahead and cut it off whenever you want.
That was Jeff and Blake Bites with Clint Alguire on DNP 102.3 Saturday Night Live and Local. And I want to take the chance to thank them one more time for being here. They're getting their stuff packed up, so they won't be able to come over the air. But I also, too, I forgot to thank Reb Robinson and James Short or Rod Short, excuse me, from the James Short Memorial Fund. Thank you guys so much for donating these earphones to us. That has been a huge relief. And actually, without them, we wouldn't have been able to do the show tonight. So thank you guys again very much for that. And as always, thank you so much to listeners for tuning in for another edition of Saturday Night Live and Local. We will not be coming back next weekend. We'll be taking the weekend off for the holiday season. But we'll be right back here on January 2nd, and we'll be joined by Last Day's Pay, and that is going to be a very fun show as well. So again, thank you everybody for listening. This is Tyler Snow signing out for Saturday Night Live and Local on DNP 102.3 FM.